We love hip hop.
All right. All right, man. Let's have a conversation here, man.
Let's do it.
Big salute to everybody who's popping up, who's watching on YouTube. All right, make sure to hit the like button and all that good YouTube stuff. And big salute to all the sponsors that you're going to be seeing rolling across the bottom of the screen as we get into our conversation here. But this gentleman has been very controversial. I've been seeing on national news all over my YouTube timeline. He's been out here moving and shaking and getting things done. And he's the founder of the Canada First movement. All right. I would like to welcome Puck Daddy, a.k.a. Joe Anajar, to the building. Welcome. Let me give you an air horn, man.
Ricky, my friend, I appreciate you.
Welcome, brother. Welcome.
Ricky, thanks for having me on. It's a bless, and I'm looking forward to what we have going on today.
No, well, thanks for coming through, man. So let's get right into it. Like
Yes,
I was
sir.
saying, you're the founder of the Canada First movement. There was the rally that went down the other day. Talk to me first about the rally, and then we're going to get into the organization itself.
Yeah, so September 13th was our last event, and we were out at Christie Pitts.
This country means the world to me. Our history, our culture, our identity, and that's what this movement is about.
Mm-hmm.
I was basically with the Canada First movement trying to bring awareness to the mass immigration to our country.
Mhm.
At the end of the day, I believe it's gone too far. We also need to be looking at mass deportations for many people in this country, the criminals, the terrorists, the people, the fraud student visas, and I can go on, but we'll get into that.
Yeah. No, it's definitely been something that we've brought up on the podcast a lot of times. And from your perspective, do you think that the rally went well? Talk to me about that.
I'll be real with you. I think it was a W for us. And the reason being is, we may not have had the thousands of people we needed,
Mm-hmm.
but in turn, what we did was we stepped into the lion's den. I mean, this is heavy woke central.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking heavy on immigrants. And I literally didn't even know that. I stepped into Christie Pitts hoping that we'd garner some major support,
Yeah.
the people who were there. But what happened is that we exposed the left. We exposed Antifa in this country and the problems we have with these types of people.
Yeah.
And for that, I believe it was a W, and it was a nice foundation. We laid the foundation for the next one.
So tell me some of the problems that you might have had, like even along the way, because I was watching some videos on it, and big salute to Borough Sound TV, aka DJ Czar.
Yes, sir.
Right? There was a lot of chaos there.
Watch it, everybody watch it!
Where did the chaos start, and how, and for what? Not how, but for what reason?
Well, I mean, they seem to be,
A little
anti.
closer.
They seem to be anti-Canadian.
Mhm.
I mean, we're out here waving our Canadian flags, proudly. We're out standing for Canadians. The whole goal behind Canada First is to put Canadians first.
Yeah.
So that's what we were doing, and we're standing our ground. A lot of people want to say, "Oh, Joe, you got ran out of the park." Well, let me touch on that. We didn't get ran out of the park. If you took a look at any of the video, you would realize that there was much more than us.
Mhm.
There was, and they were circling us. The cop that I was working with for the event came to me, goes, "Joe, there's kids here, there's families here. You don't have the numbers, and these guys are circling you in."
Yeah.
I made a judgment call to keep everybody safe. We went on our march, and they escorted us onto the streets. As everybody could see, they chased us up the entire street.
So give me they, right? Like
Yeah.
are you talking about like the left or like
We're
Antifa?
Yeah, we're talking about members of Antifa. We're talking about the left-wing liberals. We're
Mhm.
talking about Palestinian warriors
So what, they outnumbered the amount of people that were like the Canada First
at the time. At the
Interesting.
time. So the starting time was 1:00.
Mhm.
At the time when the cop came to me, it was 10 minutes before 1:00.
Right.
He goes, "Look," I go to him, "Look, I have 2 of my speakers ready to go. I had 7 speakers.
Mm-hmm.
People weren't prepared." I said, "Show up at 1:00. For the ones who showed up and were on time, God bless you. But, at the end of the day, this is a serious thing. And when there's a time, you need to be there on time."
Yeah.
But for the people who showed up after we were on our march, I respect that, for you holding the ground and you know, standing up for Canada first, even though I was not there. That just shows you that this movement is growing and people have my back.
Yeah. So, and that was over at Christie Pitts,
Yeah.
right? Was there any kind of organization that had to be done before any set up with the city or anything, or do you guys just, because I don't know how like
No.
rallies or protests work. I've never held one myself. You know what I'm saying?
And this should give everyone some encouragement to start doing what I'm doing. I'm just one guy. I'm a family guy. I don't work with organizations. I don't get paid by any money to anybody, you know, to do this. I do this out of my love for my country, and anybody across this country can do it. And I encourage you guys, you know, for the next event to stand with us so we can rip this across the country.
So how did you get so many people out there, like initially from like 1 o'clock, even from, because there was already a lot of people.
Yeah.
So was it just through your social media? Like, how did you get that many people to unite?
Well, I've been doing this for 5 years. I've been doing this for 5 years plus now. I've been fighting against the Justin Trudeau government during the mandates and the vaccine and all this. I was at the convoy. I was arrested at the convoy. Yeah, I have a long history of being a fighter in this country, and you know, I've garnered some respect and I've garnered some hate. But at the end of the day, I stand on business and I do what I need to do. And I'm kind of a lone wolf. I do my own thing. And I think that's why I'm starting to see success, because I don't have people pulling me here and there. And, you know, I have a vision and I'm going to stick to that vision.
Yeah, no, that's dope.
Yeah.
But why is it that, you know, I hear the word racist thrown around a lot? You know, not only even with the Canada First movement, but even the other ones that you mentioned, like the trucker movement, different movements. Why is that word racist thrown around so much when it comes to the people who are in these movements?
Discover Cans, where quality meets innovation. With over 24 premium strains, each carefully sealed in our signature cans for maximum freshness. We're redefining the cannabis experience. Trusted Canada-wide for consistency and reliability. We deliver the product you deserve. Elevate your expectations and explore the difference with Cans. You can find Cans on Instagram at @Cans_Canada, or you can find them on the Diamond Club page, Diamond Club_Ontario. Make sure to use the code WeLoveHipHop on the way out and get yourself a little discount. Salute to the sponsors. Cheers.
Well, that's what they do. They have no common sense. They don't try to see who we are as people, why we're doing what we're doing. And, you know, at the end of the day, it's everything is racist. If you don't have their views, you're racist, you're fascist. Me holding a Canada flag, how is that racist? Me standing up for my country, how is that racist? Me wanting to bring Canadians and uniting this country, how is that racist? They have nothing to say. So they just, you know, they go to the easy word that really, in my mind, has no meaning anymore.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a meaning. Like, what does that mean anymore? I'm racist.
Yeah.
You know, if you looked at our crowd, you would know that it was, you know, it was pretty multicultural.
It was pretty diverse.
You know, I had Ajax, my guy, you know, young buck out there speaking. You know, I had people from all different walks of life there. And, you know, it's, and I want to set this straight here. Okay. I want to set this straight. This is not about people who come to this country and embrace our culture. This is about, you know, the people who, you know, I'm focused on the people who take advantage what they get when they get here. I'm talking about the people who don't share our values, the people who disrespect our people and our country and burn our flag and say death to Canada, the people who milk off the system. You know, I can go on that, but I mean, there's people who don't appreciate what they get when they come here. Why do you think people come to Canada? You know, our milk and honey is beauty.
Yes.
Just like Don Cherry said, right?
Well, you know, we're going to get into it at one point also, being like the product of immigration. I think we're both the product of immigration.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So when our parents came here, they came here for a better life.
Well, I'll tell you, my dad's from Morocco. He's Spanish Moroccan. My mother's Scottish. She's born here. My grandfather and great grandfather fought for this country, and I have that in my veins. And I feel it's my duty. I have 2 boys at home. I want to give them a better future, and that's why I'm trying to get all the patriots out here. This is our country, and if we don't fight for it, we're going to lose it.
Yeah. And you have another, what would we call them? Protest, rally, because I feel like sometimes protest gets a
bad connotation.
Yeah, it has a bad connotation on it, right? Well, so what would you rather it be called?
This is a rally.
Okay.
This is a rally. This is rallying the troops. This is getting patriots out together to once again feel some sense of hope, to encourage people to speak on this matter, because everyone wants to say, deportations is controversial and mass immigration is controversial, but it's not. It's about, protecting our culture, our identity, our way of life. I mean, for the people who built this country, who came here, the European settlers came here, they built this country, and now they're making us feel guilty for wanting to uphold that heritage, that culture, if you know what I mean.
No, I definitely know what you mean. But I do have, I won't say it's my pushback, but I did see a lot of pushback that was happening during like the videos I was watching. And people saying, that's not your land, it's the indigenous land.
Sure.
What do you say to that?
I mean, at the end of the day, history is history, and every country has blood on their hands. I wouldn't say it's stolen. My word is conquered. And I know that's, going to come off harsh to some people, but that's the way the world works. If you look around and know anything about history, that's how most land is developed and taken. It's by conquering the land. This country wouldn't be what it is today if it wasn't for that. So you should be grateful.
Yeah, well, listen, man. It's this. I'm here to just let you get your points off. I'm not a debate expert. I'm not even like really deep into politics like that. But I just saw the rally. I was like, this is pretty crazy. Just the way everything kind of went down. Yeah. And I want to make sure that I got you in here to explain it a little bit more. And like I said, you have one coming up on October 25th, and it's expanding.
It's definitely expanding. The last time I had a lot of outreach from podcasters, from radio shows. I was on Ben Mulrooney's show. Oh, wow. I was on Greg Brady's show. I did Mark Patron's show. So I did a lot of, push on that front before the first event. And I expect that, before October 25th, I'll be doing that as well.
Yeah.
I'm grinding out here.
You're going to Montreal and a few other places too, no?
Well, I have people who are actually starting to step up and see what the Canada First movement's about. I have London, Ontario, which will be a new area for Canada First, running their own thing on the same day, the same time, the same message. I also have Halifax, Nova Scotia over there, back in my old stomping grounds. They're going to be at Citadel Hill rallying the troops. The big one now, the West is getting involved now. The West, Calgary, Alberta.
Wow.
It's going to be golden. They're setting up over there. And I'm still waiting for other provinces, other cities. If you want to get down with the Canada First movement, get in touch with me and we'll get something going for you guys.
Yeah. So, no, that's good that you guys are expanding and stuff. What's the pushback that you get even from, like, are you getting any people hitting you up from the government and different stuff like that?
Well, I did for the first one. The first one, I had City Councilor Diane Sachs write her little official statement about calling me a race hater and this is a racist movement. And she did that on all her social media. She's the city councilor for, I believe, University Rosedale.
Yeah.
And then you got your the guy, Charlie Angus, the NDP guy, which he's he's the one that calls everyone fascist, but he's the one supporting Nazis in Ukraine.
Yeah.
But he's been with the NDP, but he like is a member almost of Antifa essentially. Like he has the following of Antifa. They pretty much do what he says, and it's a problem.
Break that down to me, because I hear that word and I feel like I know what it means, like anti-fascist, right?
Yeah, right.
But like, what does Antifa mean? Like for the people who are just watching in the audience, because we're mainly like a hip hop audience, you know what I'm saying?
What it means and what they are two different things.
Okay.
Right. So they are what they say we are. They are anti and fascist, right? Where we are patriots.
Yeah.
There's a big difference. Yeah. We love our country. We want the best for our people. As you saw in the last event, does that look like a crowd of people you would want to surround yourself with? I know it's a tough one, but I'll give you a hard no. I'll give you a hard no, and that's what we exposed. And I know. With that said, with this, what comes with the territory is you're going to get hate from these people. Whenever you're outspoken and you come across, with the truth, they don't like the truth, and that's something they're very much against. They don't like the real truth being exposed, and Antifa, just like in the States, now being banned. So we should take note. We should stop with the TDS, Trump derangement syndrome, and take notes from what they're doing over there with that country.
Yeah. Now, even when it comes to that, like, I noticed, and I had this conversation over here with my co-host and stuff like that about Canada not being as patriotic as America. Is that something that you're seeing, or is that something that's changing over time?
That's something that's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you why. Like,
tell us why.
I am extremely envious of the patriotism in America.
Mm-hmm.
Those are die on the hill type of patriots, right?
Yeah.
They will die for their country, and they raise that flag. They come together in numbers, and this is something that is really different from Canada. Like, Canada has been overtaken by liberal brainwashing from the 10 years of Justin Trudeau, who single-handedly has destroyed this country.
Mm-hmm.
Let's call it what it is. And now Mark Carney to carry the torch to basically put the nail in the coffin here. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He wants to bring in 100 million people by 2100. Where are those people going to come from? They're not coming from the States, I'll tell you that.
Well, bro, isn't that part of the whole thing? Because I've watched a video on university scams and stuff like that, right? Isn't that part of the whole university scam and everything that's going on?
Yeah.
Do you know a little bit more about that?
I know a bit of it. I mean, the student visas. I mean, you got people that have expired student visas now that are trying to stay longer than what they had.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You finish your school, you go back to where you came from. That's the deal.
Yeah.
You don't get to protest staying in our country just because you feel like that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's you go back home, you come back and you apply to be a Canadian after that.
Yeah.
Do it the right way. And this is where I have an issue. Okay. If you're coming here the right way, you do all the things, you come here with the good intentions to work, become a proud Canadian, to embrace our culture and just, have that sense of pride in our country. That's amazing. But if you're going to do the total opposite of that, why are you here?
Yeah.
Why are you here?
Yeah. So that's, listen, I don't have any problem with that. The points that you bring up, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like you're talking to an echo chamber when it comes to somebody like me, you know what I'm saying? But I also do understand sometimes on the other side where people can feel like it kind of comes off as racist.
Sure.
Because there's so much people on social media that are like starting to, like, I don't know, to lash out, man. You're not seeing that?
You know why it's happening is because not many people are talking about it like I am.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
like, there's a lot of people behind the keyboard talking about it, but you can't really put a face. So when you're out in the streets holding a stop mass immigration rally, you're gonna get pushback. It's it comes with the territory. But yeah, man, it's I've had my fair share of I've had threats. I've had like I told you earlier, someone said I should be getting the Charlie Kirk treatment, and we all saw what happened with him. And rest in peace to the guy.
Rest in peace.
You know what I mean? But there's no room for that. We're in Canada where we should have free speech, just like they have free speech to say what they want. Right?
Yeah.
They can do and act how they want. We proud patriots can do what we want.
Yeah.
And that's the way democracy works. That's the way freedom of speech works, and freedom in a country. But I guess when, people like me and the crew that runs with me, it's frowned upon from the left. They don't like it.
Definitely. And I seen it happen even when we talk about the Charlie Kirk shooting and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy Kimmel got
Fired.
Almost fired or almost canceled the other day. But there was a lot of other people who were losing their jobs at different publications or media companies and stuff like that.
That school teacher in Toronto.
Right? School teacher in Toronto. Even though the school teacher, he showed the video, which was a little bit over the edge.
But that's really close to home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you got people like that with that kind of visceral or, that ill will. Like, you're a teacher and you're talking like that in a university? Get out of here.
But on the other side, the way that you speak and you're very outspoken and you're out here like pushing a movement, you don't get any problems like when it comes to employment. You don't get any pushback.
I want to take a quick break from this episode to give a big shout out to Only Loud. Canada's one-stop shop for your favorite legacy brands and all things Loud. Only Loud provides mail order delivery nationwide and same-day delivery to those in the Ottawa area. Check them out at onlyloud.ca or follow them on their socials, Instagram at onlyloudcanada or on Snapchat onlyloud.ca for more exclusive content. Only Loud is not just a product, it's a lifestyle. Big salute to the sponsors. Cheer.
For sure, bro. I mean, like even trying, you know how it is when you're trying to get a job. I'm employed, but at the end of the day, when you're trying to get a job, push out your resume, what's the first thing they're doing?
Mm-hmm.
They're not looking at your credentials. They're checking your IG, bro.
They can find you on YouTube.
And I'm not on private, so they can see full well who I am. I'm not hiding from nobody. You know, patriots don't cover their faces. So, you know, and at the end of the day, I have conservatives that are still out here. And if I need a job, I'll be hollering.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, but you've been good so far. Like you didn't go like I would imagine like the day after the rally, you go back to work on Monday and they're like, yo, Joe, what's going on out there?
Hey, and you know, I guarantee you for other people who do speak up, that probably comes to their table, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, come in the office right now. You know what I mean? Like you got to get over here. But sorry, bud, you're fired. Why? Your views. Okay, great.
Yeah.
You know, and that does happen. I guarantee you it happens. Just like during the vaccine, you know, you didn't get the vaccine, you were getting dumped.
Yeah.
I got it. I was dumped. I'm still on jab, living life like a beauty.
So you got dumped during that time. Like, so
Yeah.
what were you doing around the time when that was going on? And where did they fire you from, basically?
Well, I was working with this freight forwarding company, and at the time, and you know, this whole COVID thing hit Toronto, and everyone, you know, pooed their pants, and you know, before even knowing exactly what was going on, and you saw how the mass formation psychosis just took over our country. I mean, we still got people out here wearing masks.
Yeah,
it's what year is this?
2025.
It sure is, folks.
Going into
Wake
2026.
Wake up, kids. Let's go. Breathe that oxygen. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, it's
So what did they tell you when you decided, okay, I'm not going to take the jab? Were they like, okay, you got to go? Like, how?
Yeah, it was.
Because I
grounds,
haven't been employed for somebody for a while, so I don't even know what that conversation is like. It
was grounds for dismissal. It was one of their prerequisites to work with the company. If you're not jabbed, I said, okay, I'll keep my DNA intact over here. You know what I mean? And that's it.
Damn, bro. Listen, man, they're saying like Canada's supposed to be a place of not just like a melting pot. It was a multicultural country, as they call it, right?
Sure is, yeah.
But I don't know, man. Like we got people like Joe Rogan who don't even want to come over here anymore. It's kind of we kind of went off the deep end over here, man. Let me ask you, even because we had a conversation on in the DMs about the Richmond Hill shooting, and there's all these shootings that are happening all over the place, right?
Scary place, man.
Why do you think that that's going up so much, man? Or let me ask you more directly. Do you think immigration has added to the rise in the crime?
100%. I'll give you this. Immigration is a direct correlation to at least 95% of our problems in this country. We can look at it, okay? I'm going to break it down for all of you. Look at healthcare, okay? Healthcare. How long is it to get an appointment for an MRI? A long time.
Yeah.
You're waiting a couple months, maybe even 6 months. People don't have that time if they're sick.
You're right.
You know, okay, let's look at the strain on our resources. You know, we have people who come here, they look at it as a free vacation. They make more money than people that are working Monday to Friday, 9 to 5.
Yeah.
They're making close to almost $80K a year on resources. That's a fact.
Wow.
Plus, when they come here, they're women, they have babies, child tax credit. They just pile on that money. And then you got folks that are old stock Canadian or Canadian born. They're going, what the hell's going on here, bro?
Yeah.
Why aren't you looking after Canadians first? Why are we sending our money to Ukraine? Why are we sending our money to the Middle East?
Yeah.
Why aren't we sending money to Canadians' pockets?
So do you think that even part of that, like the crime, like, because I feel like sometimes it's organized crime that's coming from other countries, and then like setting up shop over here in Canada or in America and stuff like that. Is that part of the whole thing?
Well, there's the trafficking that comes here, but it's also just you look on CP24. I mean, it's let's call it what it is. You see a lot of people from South Asia, from India. You know, they're all up on that CP24 news. You know, flicker every day.
Yeah.
You know, they harassment. You see them, out in the streets, approaching women. That's not how we do things here, man. I mean, and the fact is you got to understand, we're a civilized nation. We have ways to do things here.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the same in Pakistan. It's not the same in India. They have different living standards. They're not used to it out here. So when they come here, it's like it's a brand new world.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they have access to the women and this and that. It's like a heaven for them.
Yes, but that's not, and salute to all my people, my Pakistani people,
God
Indian
bless.
people, right? That hasn't always been an issue. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's been people been coming here forever.
Totally.
You know what I'm saying?
And I'll tell you what's amazing about this. I have Indian guys coming to me saying, I'm disgusted by the actions of these new immigrants coming from my country. I've had that said to me numerous times. And you'll see videos on TikTok about Indian guys that live here. They're saying, guys, you can't act like this. You cannot carry on like this. You come here, you appreciate this country. And I appreciate those guys that are, pretty much putting their neck on the line for, in their culture to say things like that. Because that's what needs to be done.
Yeah.
It's not about being racist. It's just you come here, you appreciate it, and you act accordingly. That's just the way it is. You wouldn't catch me going to India and doing the things that they do here. I would probably adapt to the culture. I would abide by the law, kept myself out of problems. But that's the difference.
It's probably the numbers too, though, right?
Yeah,
because
it's overwhelming, bro.
At one point in time, like us growing up, I feel like we're around the same generations and stuff like that. Us growing up, we grew up around a bunch of different people. We're obviously we're products of immigration, so everybody was cool. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't like this non-assimilation that's starting to happen.
That never was an issue.
Is that a part partially because of the numbers, or like fully because of the numbers?
It is fully because of the numbers. I mean, when we had control, like before, let's say before Justin Trudeau, no one ever talked about immigration being bad. I don't ever remember it. It never happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So once they flooded our country, okay, with millions of people from the same particular areas, this is why we're seeing the problems we're having today. This is why we're not seeing assimilation. This is why we're not seeing it work anymore. It's a broken system.
Yeah. It's
a broken system. And, we need people with common sense to take the helm. We need them. The liberals are going to take us down, man. It's a downward spiral. And I can tell you it's going to happen sooner than you think.
Well, he also, and he being Justin Trudeau before he resigned, right?
Yep, JT, now Mark Carney.
They did and I don't know if I've imagined this headline where they said, okay, we're going to be cutting down the amount of immigration that's coming to Canada. Will that work?
What does that mean?
Well, because it's like $1 million a year, right?
But what would be cutting it down? What does cutting it down mean? Like,
I think they said 70%.
That's still not enough. It needs to be 0 until we can start taking care of our own. Once we start proving that we can take care of our people first, 0.
I don't know if we could do 0 immigration, Joe. I fuck with you, but 0 immigration is harsh, bro.
0. You want to know an example? Look at Poland. 0. They have 0 people coming in their country. They have 0 terror attacks. They have less crime than anyone in the European. I make a valid point here.
Yeah, but 0 for how long?
Until we can take care of our own and start the government understanding that with the money that you sent to Ukraine, you could be helping veterans on our street. You can be helping the mentally ill, not feed them drugs, but put them in a resource place, what gets them help and gets them off their feet again. Imagine what the billions of dollars we've sent overseas, what that could have done for this city alone. Come on, guys. We can only be so virtuous for so long. You want to be virtuous until you're in your deathbed? I don't think so. It's time to, call things how it is. Be honest. I know you guys are all thinking it. I know everybody is thinking it, but as you said earlier, with the losing of jobs, with the losing of opportunities, people, I get it. And that's why I felt it was my duty, put my ass on the line and do it. And hopefully people follow me in doing so.
Hey, man, listen, you're a better man than me when it comes to that, bro. It's just that I can't get past the 0 part, man. Because I know this. Once upon a time, I've always heard the saying, we only want to send our best, or we only want your best and brightest from
Sure.
from other countries. So why can't we just go back to that?
If we're doing that, then let's do that.
Mhm.
Let's not bring in people who are unqualified, who are just going to come here and take the jobs from the younger Canadians. Let's call it Tim Hortons. Let's call it Uber. Our young Canadians aren't getting jobs before going off to university. They're not getting jobs. I have an 18-year-old son.
Mm.
He couldn't even find a job this summer because of it. You know what I mean? There was a lot of things that, regular, between 15 and 19, those are jobs for younger Canadians.
Yeah.
But if we're more selective with who we're bringing into this country, like addressing our needs, like nurses, doctors, lawyers, then golden. But if you're just going to bring in every Tom, Dick, and Harry and not vet them, not know who they are, then zero.
Yeah. Yeah. So I get where you're coming from. You don't want it, and maybe I'm speaking for you. You don't want zero, but
if
you
it's
want better.
I want a better selection of people coming to this country and actually being a positive person in this country, not milking off our system. And, they want to bring in LGBTQ refugees and give them payment. For what? Half these people aren't even gay. They're just coming because that's what they can do. They can claim being gay and then get their money.
Yeah.
Or, like the people who come here and just milk off the system. It's not a vacation in Canada. It's not a right to live in this country. It's a privilege. And people should start treating it that way.
What's your views on refugee status?
Roll Ready Detailing, now open 7 days a week from 8 to 5 p.m. 750 Oakdale Road, Unit 66, specializing in ceramic coating perpetual with warranty, PPF, tints, wraps, vinyl wraps, and hand car washes. Remember, we clean anything on wheels.
Roll ready, ready for the road.
Sure. Well, there's also other countries. Why are we the dumping ground for everybody? Let's be real. There's other countries in the world that are fully capable of taking on some of that. And I'll ask you this question to kind of combat you on that. There's 56 other Muslim countries that refugees can go to, but who's not letting them in? Those Muslim countries.
Interesting.
And that's a fact. So we get stuck with it. And the Americans get stuck with it. And then we get stuck with the bill. We get stuck with the bill because they're not coming here right away working. So taxpayers are paying their livelihoods to say basically, go fuck yourself.
Yeah,
that's how I look at it, man. That's how I kind of look at it. And if you have any common sense, that's kind of what it is, bro. Because if you're taking our money, but still not adapting and embracing our culture and assimilating, learning the language, all this stuff, and you're getting, come on. There has to be a line here.
Yeah.
And I know people are gonna go, but you're kind of harsh, But I'm telling you guys, you're gonna regret not doing it one day. You want a better future for your children? Start talking.
So what's our solution? How do we, in your eyes, or to be able to fix this? You know what I'm saying?
Let's start with getting a government that's for the people. Let's start there. Okay. Let's get rid of the liberals. Let's get rid of that whole dark period of history in this country. Let's erase that. Let's not erase our heritage. Let's erase them.
Right.
If you know what I mean. They changed our anthem. They changed our passport. We're the laughing stock of the world, bro.
Yeah.
Everyone laughs at us. We're the nice Canadians, hey?
Yeah.
Give me a break. No, I'm not cool with that. And I came from a Canada that was strong, that was proud, that would stand up for their neighbor and say hello in the morning. You don't see none of that. I used to grow up playing hockey in the streets with my boys from dawn to dusk.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see that anymore. What happened? They want to it's just, my country's falling apart. I know a lot of you guys, you see it, but you may not be able to say it yet, but I encourage you guys, if you know what's best for this country and you are thinking these things, you got to speak up. And, you can even start by coming to the rallies. You don't necessarily have to speak, but your support is crucial at this point in time. the numbers, the optics, it's crucial. So I encourage you all to be there and stand with me.
Yeah, man. Puck Daddy in the building.
Yes.
Let the people know when's the next rally, how they can come out and support, like even more, if there's any websites, any place that they can go to.
Yeah, so I got a few things in the work. I got a website kind of being put in place right now for the event, October 25th. It's going to be at Queen's Park. The time is still to be announced.
Okay.
I'm holding back on it because we're still a bit of a ways away, and I'll be letting everybody know. But just kind of take that day. Just be prepared and ready to go. Yeah, we're going to have speakers. We're going to have music playing. It's a stationary event, so it's going to be more of a rally. We're going to fill that park. We're going to have, people doing debates and kind of bringing in the crowd to learn, to educate them. We're going to have great speakers. Like we had Lisa Robinson on the last event, and she's just a rock star, bud. Like she's the type of politician we need in power, or at least, in the forefront, right? And you know what? I want to say something too here for the conservatives. Where are you? I need you guys out there. If there was ever an event, stop pussyfooting around issues and only talking about things when it's okay to talk about them. You need to show up. That's Pierre Poilievre. That's every rep. You're talking about immigration right now, right? You guys want to run around and talk about immigration. Well, then show up.
Yeah.
I'm a conservative, by the way, but I'm here to keep you guys conservative. That's what I'm here for. Trust me.
Hey, man. Listen, man.
Let's go.
Puck Daddy came through. He came to drop some knowledge on the conservative crowd, because I know the people on the liberal side ain't trying to hear.
I'm not trying to bring you on board here, guys. I know you guys are a lost cause. So for the people that, but I will say I've had some liberals kind of come to me and be like, I'm kind of seeing what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I see where you're coming from, and it does make sense to me. So you know what? I'm going to say I invite everyone who is fed up with the current state of our country, who is sick and tired of seeing our country be overrun by immigrants and taking resources that could be used for other Canadians. Let's be real here. And I want you guys there. I want you to stand by me, because what will happen is if we do nothing, we will lose our country. It's that simple. Look at history, guys. Look at Nepal, what they did. Everyone's like, we need to do Nepal. I'm like, take it easy. You know what I mean? Let's step by step. Let's get 1,000 people together first.
Yeah.
Let's get 10,000 people first. Let's keep this momentum growing, because Canada First is not going anywhere. We're here. We're here. We're out here in the streets. No one else is doing it. Who's doing it? No one. Let's go.
Hey, man. You know what I'm saying?
It is what it is, man. I'm fired up being up here with you today, man.
Listen,
I'm fired
bro,
up,
I appreciate you coming through, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Up, bro.
I got to say this also before we close this, because I know there's going to be some people even watching this from my standpoint, or from the platform standpoint. I'm neither conservative or liberal, but I do have like a lot of conservative beliefs. So I get it. You know what I'm saying? But these are the views of Puck Daddy, aka Joe Andijar. You know what I'm saying? And y'all do what you will, and let me know in the comments how y'all feel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If there's things that you agree with and things that you don't agree with. You know what I'm saying? I think we're here to have conversation in the end of the day.
Well, that's what needs to be happening, right? We need to have open dialogue. We need to be able to, not kill each other out here in the streets. We need to talk. We need to kind of come to a common ground. I think that's what we need in this country.
Yeah.
Common ground, right?
Yeah.
None of this left-right garbage. We're all Canadians at the end of the day. So let's meet somewhere in the middle where we can, flourish and become the great country we were once before.
Yeah.
It's that simple, guys. And and at the end of the day, it's the government who's made this left-right garbage, right? It's splitting us all apart. So if we unite, then they're not going to be able to do what they continue to do to us, right? So let's kind of use that common sense. We all have families. You want to protect your children's future? Let's come together. It's that simple.
There you have it, man. Puck Daddy, a.k.a. Joe Andijar, in the building.
Yes, sir.
Big salute to all the sponsors that you're going to be seeing rolling across the bottom of the screen. Make sure to follow him up. What's your Instagram right
It's
now?
at Puck Daddy 93.
All right. Puck Daddy 93 on Instagram. All right. We are off of this. Deuces.
Let's go.
We
Thanks
love
for
hip
watching.
hop.
If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to check out these other videos on the screen and make sure to like and subscribe.
We love hip hop.